Marko here from Fair Realty, Victoria, BC. Today I'm going to explain to you how I was able to knock 11 years off the mortgage on my personal home without making any lump sum payments, without making any additional payments, simply using what I believe to be common sense. So here's the current status of my mortgage as of today. It's a variable mortgage with an interest rate of 3.63%. The start date was August 1st, 2024. Maturity date is August 1st, 2029. So 5-year mortgage. Take a look at the remaining amort period, 18 years and 21 days. The original amort period last year was 30 years. So I'm 11 years ahead in terms of paying off this mortgage. And how did this come to be? I find when it comes to mortgages, the vast majority of people out there are chasing the rate and they're not looking at the high level big picture. If someone offers them 3.99, they're trying to find 3.98. I work with a very high level, competent and ethical mortgage broker. And this is a really important combination because sometimes people can be competent, but if they're not ethical, they might push you into a product where their commission is higher. And last year in May, my mortgage broker emailed me all my options. This was, I think, towards the end of May. 3-year was 5.71, 5-year fixed was 5.62. And, we were talking at a high level in terms of the economy. At that point, it looks like the economy was not very good. And there was a very, very high likelihood that the Bank of Canada was going to start cutting interest rate. At that time, before they started cutting interest rates, the variable would have been 6.38. So my mortgage broker, being very competent, was able to tell me, hey, listen, there's this product with TD, you go with a variable. Once you're set up on that variable, from your phone, from the TD app, you can phone a phone number where you can convert to a fixed mortgage. And he said, Mark, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. When you phone this department at TD, they're very aggressive in terms of offering very competitive rates and trying to convert you from variable to fixed. So if you see that the Bank of Canada is not going to be dropping rates at any point, you can phone this number and you can get a 3-year fixed, 5-year fixed, likely at a better rate than I, as a mortgage broker, can offer you. So he was super, super honest with me. So with that information in May, I said, hey, why don't we wait a couple of weeks, see what the Bank of Canada is going to do at the meeting in June. At the meeting in June, they cut the interest rate. And at that point, I decided to go variable. In July of last year, I actually made a video where I explained why I was going with a variable while the vast majority of people were going with a fixed mortgage. By the time my mortgage started August 1st, Bank of Canada had actually made a second interest rate cut. So at that point, the day the mortgage started, I think my variable was 5.88. And remember, the 3-year fix was 5.71 and the 5-year fix was 5.62. So I was barely above the best options I had for fixed rate mortgages. And then we all know what happened after that. The Bank of Canada just kept cutting. And I'm still riding this variable interest rate because I still think the economy sucks. So I'm still not prepared to go fixed. But basically at this point, I'm a full 2 percentage points lower than the 5-year fixed that I could have secured at the time. And this is saving me tens of thousands of dollars. Because my variable is a fixed payment and I opted not to adjust the payment, that's why my remaining amort period has dropped from 30 years down to 18 years, even though I'm only a year and a bit into the mortgage. So this is one of those situations where exercising some common sense, and basically my common sense told me the economy sucks. It looks like the Bank of Canada is going to start cutting. And what's my risk? I go variable and they don't start cutting, and I simply phone up TD through this app that my mortgage broker advised me, and I log into a 5-year fix. There was very little risk, in my opinion, but the upside reward was huge. And that's exactly how it's panned out by saving me 11 years on my mortgage. That's it for this week. Marko, Juras, Fair Realty.